Hi. Hi, right, I think I'm live. Hi, it's lovely to see you, lovely to connect with you. I'm just going on to Facebook as well. Hi, Paula. Hi, Ash. Lovely to see you. Wow, the tiny little picture that I can see. Hi. Okay, I'm just seeing if anybody's coming on to Facebook. Hi. So is anybody feeling the energies of this new moon? And if so, how are you feeling? What have you been feeling? Hi, Melly. Hi. So yeah, I feel that there's been, hi from California. That's lovely, lovely to see you. I'm just seeing if anybody else is coming on. Hi, Debbie. So has anybody else been feeling the energies of the new moon? If so, what have you been feeling? How's it been for you so far? I really have felt it this new moon. In fact, I felt so elevated and pushed by the energies. Normally, I've been wearing a moonstone, but today I've put something a little bit more grounding on because I really have felt quite pushed by all the different energy here. The energy is empowering and creative. Another medium there. Hi, darling. Yes, it is really empowering. But I've just felt a little bit over elevated, if you know what I mean. And it's been making me feel like a little bit speedy. Yeah, new moons make me feel quite low with headaches. Okay, and you've been feeling very tired. Yeah, the new moon, you know, the way I was always explained about the new moons, which were lovely, it's sort of, so we've just come to the very end of the cycle and we're just starting in with the new moon again. So the new moon is always like, I read this, or somebody told me years ago, that the moon cycle is like taking a breath, a deep breath, and holding it in, and then letting it go. So the actual day of the new moon, which for most places is today, but I think some are behind, some are forward. I never know where I am with all the different time zones. But so we've just sort of ended, and so we've been in quite a dark period where you've hardly seen the moon, and so that can make people feel a little bit dark, a little bit down and low on energy. Also, what's happening is you're really letting go. So if you imagine you're exhaling, you're at the very end of the breath before you take your next breath in. And of course, we know that the new moons are all about, you know, taking that breath in that we're going to. So it's like a seed that we're going to grow and into the full moon, to the full moon energy. So yeah, you've been feeling a bit spaced out, have you, Debbie? Yeah, I've really felt spaced out, which is why I used a stone to ground myself, and I have just been, you know, using my breath to ground myself a little bit more. Hi from Greece and from tropical Oswestry. Don't know where that is. I'm sorry. Is that the States? Anyway, not much energy. Everyone's been feeling pretty tired. But interestingly enough, because the new moon in Virgo, I'll get to that little bit in a minute, but it is also about looking after ourselves and health. So there's a couple of things that came in with the instruction. Oh, I didn't know that. It sounded so tropical. It did sound, you know, sort of very... it sounded very exotic. Oswestry, I can't even pronounce it. Yeah, so sorry, where was I? So yeah, with the new moon, there's a couple of things that came in today for me, and I should be so lucky. So the new moon in Virgo sometimes is known for being a perfectionist, the energy around Virgo being perfectionist. So you may have found yourself feeling this sort of vibe with this new moon. So I have felt quite chaotic. So I think that this new moon coming into my life has been showing me where I need to place order and become a little bit more of a perfectionist, because I've sort of have got things all over the place. But what can also happen is it can magnify the feeling of having to be a perfectionist. Now, what can happen with this is that we can sometimes control too much in our lives. And being over controlling in our lives can sometimes be really exhausting. And I feel that because, we've come through this COVID period for like a year and a half, has it been nearly 2 years? It feels like such a long time. And because everything outside our particular lives has been so difficult to control, that some of us have over controlled some things in our life. So we may have put a lot of pressure on ourselves, controlling what we're eating, what we're wearing, how tidy the house is, or just becoming a little bit boxed in by everything. Does anyone relate to that, or which way does everybody go? Because it can be really exhausting when you're putting so much pressure on yourself. So a couple of people have said, yeah, it's been quite exhausting. So today is a little bit about renewing and having a little look at how that fits in your life. Do you need to step back a little bit from your life and let go of the controlling? Because again, when we try to control our circumstances too much, it sometimes sort of puts a bit of a stick in the spokes of the wheel of fortune, or the wheel of life that keeps turning. And because we're trying to control it, no, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and the wheel of life is sort of turning, saying, no, this is where you're supposed to be, this is where you're going, and you're really hanging on to going the other way. It can sometimes build a lot of tension and a lot of frustration up. So and sometimes we're trying to control something that really isn't for us, or that would just happen, sometimes even better, if we just let go and relaxed a little bit about things. Sometimes things get done without all the stress and the hassle and the sometimes. And I know it's really hard, but I feel it's especially coming to a lot of people. Debbie's saying totally relatable. And I feel that has been because our outside circumstances have been so uncontrollable. So it's made us want to control at least something in our lives. If we can't control where we're going, if we can go out, if we can see friends, even when we can travel, and all the other things that we can't control, even what we can buy in the supermarket, it's like we have to control these certain things in our lives. So now's the time to have a little look, to check in with ourselves, which I feel is always the way when we're cycling, we're going round and checking in with the moon cycle, that we can check in with ourselves and see what needs adjusting, whether we need more order. And it is hard to let go sometimes and just trust in our spirit guides. It is really hard, but I think sometimes in life, especially when the shit really hits the fan, all we have is our faith and our hope that that all this is what has happened in our lives is for the purpose, for our higher good, and we're going in the right direction. But it is difficult to let go. And as I say, I think there's a real fear vibe around so many people at the moment, because it is scary. I mean, as soon as you put the news on these days, there's some disaster happening. So but that control, that lack of control we've got in the outside world at the moment, can be going on and making ourselves want to control ourselves too much. And this can also result in self-criticism. We're over-criticizing ourselves. You know, we're being hard on ourselves because we're wanting this perfection that doesn't exist. Maybe we've spent too much time watching Netflix or what is it, the Housewives or whatever it is, and you see all these perfect people. You think, oh my God, my life should look like that. So it is time to step back and see if you have been criticizing yourself too much as well. Sorry, Richard, this is pretty much how I feel at the moment. I can't see anyone else's comments. So I'm just wondering if I'm typing. Yes, no, I can see you. I can see you, Richard. I think what it is that I'm streaming on a couple of different places in Facebook, so you can't see the other people, but they're there. Hello, Cheryl. So, and I'm also on Instagram, so there's different comments coming in. So also with the Virgo sign, it's also the mother goddess of the sky. So she comes in, I feel right now, to also no, so I can see you. No, don't watch the news. That's really, really good. Hello, Sherry. Hi, lovely to see you. So yeah, it is a really good time to now listen to that, to let go of the perfectionism vibe, especially if it is resulting on us criticizing ourselves, over criticizing ourselves. So it's a really nice time to have a little look again, checking in with this this moon cycle to see what do you need to do for yourself. Do you need to sort of be a bit kinder? Do you need to set some positive affirmations so you're not listening to that negative voice? And it's also a fantastic time with the new moon to start setting new intentions for a positive self-care routine. A positive energy healthcare routine, which is what a lot of us need. I notice that I think most people coming on are empaths. You know, I think we all shine a light to one another. So I've noticed a couple of other mediums come on, and I know there's a couple on Facebook. So are you all doing energy care for yourself during this difficult time? Hi. Hi. Just see new people coming on. So hi from New York. The people on, do you actually do some energy care? Do you look after you? So we're not just talking about looking after our bodies, trying to eat and nourish ourselves properly and to eat and drink enough water and good food. But we've also got to, I feel at this time, trying to, it is hard. And I don't do it all the time either, but I do notice that I have to look after my energy more than ever, I think. So what I tend to do is I make sure that I'm grounding myself, and that's brilliant. Learning Reiki is great. I think we should have this in the schools. I think everybody should learn Reiki. It's so fantastic. You know, we're all natural healers. We just need to learn how to do it. So that's fantastic. Well done, Cheryl. Yeah, so I really feel it's a time we have to do our energy protection. We have to clean our energy. We have to ground ourselves, use our Reiki or call in our healer spirit guides, whatever form of energy healing you're doing. It's time to use them on ourselves. I mean, there's lots of people. I myself, I do healing for others, but then I'd sometimes just ignore myself and forget, I need to be aligned as well. I need to look after my energy. So it's a really good time right now is just to have a little look and see where you need that energy. So for me, being a tarot reader more than anything, is that the positive affirmations, Richard, they are really good. Yeah, and that's quite difficult. I get what you mean with the positive affirmations, because it's difficult to, sometimes you can sit there and think, oh yeah, I am worthy, I am one with the light, whatever your affirmation is. But sometimes you've got to believe it. You've got to believe it. But also I do feel that, I've got positive affirmations that I stick around. I stick around the room, and I also use these, which I love, and I use them for myself and for my clients, and I think they're great. great. And I stick it on the wall so I can see it, and I repeat it and I repeat it until I do believe it. And I feel it's really, really good. So, but it is difficult when it becomes just a habit to say positive things to yourself, you know. But yeah, hopefully with the change with this new moon coming in, you'll start feeling that rise in a higher vibration. Okay, so for me, the Virgo new moon is always about the Hermit. You know, Virgo is related, or the rule of the Hermit card. So here we have, I love this. This is for, I got the Love Yourself card by Louise Hay. Yeah, she's fantastic. I love her. Oh, she was, but she's still very much with us all. So the Hermit card, this is from the Journey of Enlightenment set. This was, I love this. This is one of my favorite cards out of the deck. And I feel that this Virgo new moon is all of this, you know. It's a time to go within to find these answers. It's a time to sort of have this protection around you, that energy protection, and to really check in with yourself. And because it has been, I feel, as we were saying, a little bit of a dark moon, I felt a little bit of time to go away from people more, you know, to go within, so have some time out to check in, to recheck in with what you're doing with your life. So if you are tarot readers on here as well, a really nice thing. Hi, people are coming on Instagram. Lovely to see you. So if you are a tarot reader, it's a really nice thing to do is go into your deck. So I've done this as a bit of a group reading, but if you've got tarot, find your Hermit card, and the card under it is what you need to focus on this month, okay, until the new moon comes around. So what I got was so this is for everybody. So under the Hermit card, the next card that came along was the Magician. So I really feel that this is telling us for this month ahead to set intentions, to focus more on ourselves, to not hide. Can you see the Magician has been hiding? Oh, this camera's back to front. But the Magician has been hiding. So I feel this is saying now, setting those intentions to come out and show your magic to the world. You know, you've got everything you need. You have all the tools. You are magic. You are able, and you've got this magic and the manifesting inside of you. You've got the knowledge. It's now time to show yourself to the world. So I felt that that was a beautiful, beautiful card to come in for. So yeah, step out, people. So what we're also going to look at is if you do have a little time to have a little ponder on what the Hermit card means to me. And it really is asking yourself, do you take time to be? Do you ever take time out of your busy routine? As Cheryl says, we've never got any time for ourselves. Do you take time, like the Hermit, just to be? So I don't mean that you have to go away and hide on the top of the mountain to, well, mind you, it might be nice sometimes. So you don't have to go away to hide yourself off. But it is asking yourself, do you take time to just be? And also ask yourself, within that time of just being, are you capable of being still? And if not, why? You know, I find it sometimes, I do try to meditate. I found it harder lately, I feel, but I try to do the meditation. But I have found lately it harder to be still. And I know that it's because I've been picking up on a lot of the nerves and the energy of the rest of the world. So how's everybody else feel when I ask those questions? Do you ever take time to just be? And are you able to actually be still? And then when you are still, Do you take time in your daily routine to receive the guidance that you need? Because the hermit's here sitting, receiving the guidance he needs, because all the guidance we need is inside of us. We can connect into that. We can connect into our intuition and improve it all by slowing down, becoming a little bit more self-aware, and listening, taking that time away from the distractions, the Netflix, well, not so much the music, but just taking ourselves away from some of the distractions and feeling into ourselves. Hi, good afternoon, Patrick. And yeah, Cheryl, I have trouble quieting my mind. I have lately. I never used to really have trouble with it, but I have felt it really pulled by everything, any subtle energy change, and being pulled by it. So, and it's nice to be aware of that, because then perhaps it is, with the Hermit card coming in with the new moon, it is that little bit of taking a bit of time to be, and taking a little bit more time to be self-aware, because meditation isn't all about just sitting there and waiting to be touched by the light. I've seen the light. It's sort of sitting there and it's just being in the moment. You don't have to. There's some people, I don't like sitting too much just in the energy of trying to meditate, because my mind wants to go all over the place. I've got dinner to do. What am I going to cook tomorrow or tonight now? But I like to meditate while I'm doing things, and I make myself, and I walk the dog, instead of thinking, oh, what am I going to do tomorrow? I've got that to do. I've got that to do. I make myself notice the ground that I'm walking on, the trees that are around me, and I bring myself into meditative sort of state, so, and sometimes you can get that self-awareness then, I often come back from the woods thinking, oh, I know what I have to do now, and you get that insight and get those moments. So Sherry had the Hierophant under your Hermit card in my deck. Now that's really interesting. What did you feel about that, Sherry? For me, it's like the Hierophant is also about order, isn't it? So maybe you need to check that in your life, how order and perfectionist and structure have you in your life? Is it too much? But it's also very much, I feel, about maybe having that time to be, because the Hierophant is also about a lot of spiritual practice. So maybe it's time, to have that little bit of time for you to just be still, and just to become more self-aware and not being in a rush all the time. And it is really difficult. But even in a rush, we can be mindful within that chaos of running around getting the kids ready to school, or being late to work, or having a deadline. We can still bring ourselves back to the next step, which just now, so let me see what you thought of that card that came up for you, Sherry. And Richard, it's reassuring to know someone who has a lot more experience in this than I do also finds it hard to meditate. Okay, that's really interesting. Yeah, so I'll read Richard's comments out. It's reassuring to know that someone who has a lot more experience in this than I do also finds it hard at times to meditate. It also makes me feel a bit like there's something I'm not doing right. For me, I find my mind wanders and I have to concentrate hard on meditation, which sort of defeats the object. Definitely. Meditation, I feel, isn't for everybody. I remember going to a Buddhist practice where we sat and stared, and it was really uncomfortable as well. It wasn't good for my back. We sat and stared at the painted wall. You had to just focus on a dot for ages, and I struggled, and I don't feel it was good for me. Meditation, sometimes I know people recommend to their clients, they'll go away and meditate, and you think, no, because all they're going to do is sit and listen to all those negative stuff going on in their mind. It's hard. So it isn't for everybody. So I feel that there's forms of meditation we can do that's healthier for us, or good for us, rather than just sort of sitting and trying to meditate. Guided meditation, I always feel, is easier. I also feel that shorter meditations are easier. You know, just start off with 3 minutes. Do you know how I started off and it was so difficult. I mean, it sounds so ridiculous, but just by breathing 3 breaths, and I was thinking of something else, like what, just in, out, and I was already thinking about something. So it is really hard. It does take practice, but I feel that sometimes we expect so much of ourselves. This is going back to the perfectionism in Virgo. We expect so much of ourselves. So sometimes it is just taking that pause and breathing for 5 in breaths, five in and 5 out, you know, or counting the breath, doing a box breath, or just being mindful. I find mindfulness is one of the best things you can do. Rather than sitting down, it is training your brain to be mindful. You know, when you're washing the dishes, when you're putting the washing in the machine, when you're making dinner, when you're pouring a glass of water, just be mindful about what you're doing. I find that when you sort of pick up your glass, being mindful, drinking it, it's almost like you bless it as well. So it's like you're blessing what's going on, but it's slowing you down and letting you focus on now. And I think that stops, because if not, you're going along and there's like 3,000 thoughts spinning into our heads. And you get at the end of the day, and I can't even speak, or I'm talking a load of rubbish, but because my mind's all over the place. And I find the best thing, rather than meditating, because I find that sometimes if I meditate, I'm writing to-do lists in my head. Oh yeah, I've got just thing I'd like to do. And I get into meditation and I have to quickly write something down because, yeah, just remembered that. So I do find that trying to be mindful, or really short meditations, are good. And then the best time I do meditate is guided meditation, as Cindy's just said. Oh, is it Cindy? Guided meditations help me stay focused, but I often fall asleep. So that's really good. Also, I find, meditation, rather than meditation, some guided hypnosis, because that does help you bring that focus down. But everybody's different, and I feel that sometimes when we all start on our spiritual journey, we feel that, we've got to be spiritual, we've got to meditate for this, half an hour, and some people do, and that's fantastic. I did find that learning Reiki did help me get that connection, and I have improved. But it's something I do think we place a lot of expectations on ourselves. So this is really good, because this is what the Virgo full moon or new moon is all about. So Tusker Herb says, I've often found myself daydreaming like bad. I can lose hours just sitting in the story. I would think that thing is that it feels like, you're going towards more the daydream, and meditation is more sort of focusing on one thing. Maybe what you can do to bring your attention back is use the guided meditation, or focus on something, or just a flame, just for a moment. And again, you sort of lose yourself for hours. So you may be going up, if you're connecting with your guide, you're going perhaps onto a different plane, a different vibration. But meditation, I feel more than anything, is to clear our minds and let us be able to be more open to our living on this plane, So maybe that would help if you just focus, especially if you're negative towards yourself. Try some positive hypnosis, positive self-hypnosis. That might be better than meditation. Keep listening and listening. Try mirror work, just looking at yourself, and positive affirmations. So do try that. So I'm just having a little bit. Brilliant. I'm glad that resonated with you, Richard. That's lovely. Yeah, just try a guided meditation and working on breathing. Breath work is really good, and there's some great things. We will actually put some videos out when we're doing the Infinite Soul Circle. We've got some really nice breathing exercises coming out, but basically all they are is counting in for 4, counting out for 8, counting in for 4. And it just, honestly, with 1 or 2 breaths, you really do feel centered and a lot calmer. Depends on the situation you're in, but if you're in a bit of silence and you do that, or up in the woods I do that, and it really really calms me down and brings me to my center and makes me feel good. But even if you're in the midst of chaos and aggression or whatever, just trying to bring that focus back to your breath really helps you be mindful of the emotions and your reactions. Wayne Dyer has some really good ones. Yes, I like listening to him. And Joe Dispenza, I really enjoy that. And yeah, mindfulness I find easier than meditation. Sorry, Sherry. Oh, I've just missed your comment. Yeah, I didn't know. Yes, exactly. That's right. I don't know whether you heard what I was saying about the elephant, but I feel that exactly, that you do have the keys and the answers within. So you just need to sit and, take that time to be and become more self-aware so you can listen to the guidance that you've been given. Debbie, flame gazing and fires are powerful for you. Yeah, I love that as well. I can get quite transfixed with my candle. I really love it. Hello, Sue. Lovely to meet you. Lovely to connect with you here. So yeah, they're really nice things to ask yourself, I feel, with the new moon coming in. And also the last question I had was, when did you take a mental break? So a lot of us take breaks or holidays and we pack the car and rush around sorting the kids out, the dogs out, or whatever else you've got going on in your life. And but it's not much of a break. So sometimes all we need are those 5 minutes sitting in the woods, by the beach, or in the quiet room, and just breathing, just to pause, just to sort of press that pause button. It's funny, as soon as I say pause, I go up here. This is a fantastic acupuncture point or pressure point and chakra points, many. But when you're feeling stress or need that mental break, if you rub on here, massage this spot, that can really help as well. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do a little bit of a new moon ritual, and then we'll see where we're at with the time to do a couple of cards. But the main thing is what we're going to do is just sit and take 5 breaths. Take 1 breath in and out. So we're just going to breathe in with the light, breathe the healing light energy in. And breathe out any tension, any stress, any negative energy. We just let it go. And we're just going to bring in the light, all the healing energy that's around us. And exhale any stress, any tension, any negativity. Bringing in the new moon energy that lightens us up. And we let go of being over criticizing ourselves, of being over controlling or being that perfectionist that's just too much. So we're just breathing in that vibration of just being a bit easier on ourselves and releasing any tension. So we're just going to create an energetic circle. So I'm just going to call my guides in just to help form the circle. So we're just going to sit in circle energetically. So I'll just call my guides in. I'm going to light my candle just to start this little ritual. So just to bless the circle, call the guides, my guides in. If you'd also like to call your guides in. I don't know where to put this so I don't burn my tarot cards. So we're just going to sit for a moment. And I'm going to read a text to you. This is all about the new intention. So I'll read it once and then I'll read it again and you can just repeat it, okay? I've also just saged the circle as well before we came in so that we've got a lovely energetic safe space. So I'll read it once and then if you'd like to read it in your mind as I go through it a second time. So under the dark of the new moon, I allow myself to be renewed, listening to my higher self. I release the past by setting intentions to honor my life purpose and live my truth. On the edge of becoming, I let my inner light guide me to whom I should fully be, and so it is, and so be it. And then if you just like to repeat, under the dark of the new moon, I allow myself to be renewed, listening to my higher self. I release the past by setting intentions to honor my life purpose and live my truth. On the edge of becoming, I let my inner light guide me to who I should fully be. So it is, and so be it. Now, in this space, what I'd like you all to do is visualize this fresh start. Visualize that you want to bring into your life or your home more time to just be, to be more relaxed, easier on yourself, or to have more routine and more discipline. See how it feels for you. So picture these new intentions. Focus on one, on the most important, this new intention of self-care, of time to be, or whatever it is that you want to set your intentions for. And picture your life, how it looks and how you would feel. Imagine that it's already happening, that it's happened. And just feel it. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to link up as a group, as an energetic group. So we're just going to stretch our energy around, just join our energy and connect in love and light and send healing energetic thoughts to each other. Just breathing in this magical new moon energy and sending healing and loving thoughts and good intentions. And also with this will help us manifest. The more we manifest for others, the more that it is returned to us tenfold. So just send your intentions out for the healing and for the intentions of others to become true, to manifest. And know that you're receiving that magic, those magical intentions tenfold coming back to you. And so it is, so be it. And I'll just close the circle down. And what we've got a little bit of time for is just a couple of cards. So if anybody has a question, that felt really lovely. Did everybody else feel that? That felt really lovely. I could feel the energy, especially on my heart space. That really was lovely. Hi, Nissa. I'm so glad you're on, my lovely. I was going to message you to come and join me, but I didn't know whether I'd wake you up because it must be early there in the States. Hi, C. Hi, that's lovely to see you. Hi, Diane. Oh, I loved it. So I'm so glad you all enjoyed that. It was very calming, wasn't it, Debbie? I really felt that was good. Despina, that was lovely. Thank you. Yeah, felt really good. So now we have these new intentions. Let's keep them going. I'll be on again for the full moon on the 20th of September. Now, on the 20th of September, because I've already got some workbooks. So it's a little work, sounds awful, it doesn't workbook, it's like homework. But I've got these workbooks that will teach us how to call in the goddess Selene and work with the full moon on the 20th of September. So please get in touch if you want a copy of the workbook before the 20th. And then please, everybody on here, we'll join again in circle. We'll do some full moon releasing and manifesting and healing. So please come on, and we'll also do some readings. So first of all, I've got Cheryl. Any advice for my new job? I'm waiting to start. How exciting, right? Let me just see what comes in for Cheryl. Oh, I've got incredible excitement, first of all. Oh, wow, really good. So what I've got, first of all, is it's going to happen soon. Don't worry about it. So I've got the Nine of Wands as the shadow card. So this sort of comes underneath to sort of say, don't worry, you're getting there. It's coming, it's going to start. So I don't know whether you've been waiting and not knowing an exact date, but there's this feeling like it's all going to come and be okay. So when I've asked for any advice, look at the cards again in the Nine of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Ten of Cups. Such positive cards. So I feel with that, Cheryl, the advice is the Nine of Pentacles, I always feel is or waiting for a start date. Well, don't worry, it is coming. The Nine of Wands is all about is coming. It's on its way. Don't worry, it will happen soon. I'm just going to move this candle because I don't want to burn my room down. So it is going to happen soon. It is coming. Now, the advice that comes in for when you start the job is all about self-care. This is the Nine of Pentacles. So it's a bit like sort of putting a little bit of time and effort into yourself for the honoring, I feel like saying. It's like really honoring yourself and instead of putting all your energy out, put it in for you. The Ten of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles, I mean, they're really good cards. So I feel that that's, the money coming in that you're expecting, but also the Ten of Cups, it's almost like the happy family card. So I feel that this is just sort of letting you be mindful and really appreciate and be grateful for the moment that you're in for doing it. So it is sort of being happy in the moment and celebrating the moments, especially if you're one that's perhaps too hard on yourself because it's like, yeah, I've got a new job, but I could have done better. I could have done this or I could have done that. This is really celebrating yourself. So I feel that that's what I feel like saying to you when these cards come in all together. The Nine of Pentacles, the Ten of Cups, and the Ten of Pentacles. I feel it is, yeah, let's celebrate and give yourself time for you. Very hard on yourself. You've been told now. So with the new moon, that's going to change. Okay. Any advice about my relationship? Let's have a little look in. Right, so I'll come to you as well, Richard. Sorry, see, any advice about my relationship? I tell you what, I'm just going to do them quite quickly. So I just pulled two cards. Any advice about my relationship? Okay, nurture it. Focus. What I've got is actually, focusing on the positive, focus on the good things. My friend always told me, this is Wendy, she'll be like, if reward good behavior and ignore bad. So that, if that advice makes any sense to you, but it's like focus on the good things, and sort of don't you know, not sweep them under the carpet, because we can't ignore negative things, but it's just like focus more on the positive things. Nurture it. You've got the Queen of Pentacles coming in to sort of nurture, and the Page of Wands, and I feel that is also focus on the passion, the fire within the relationship, whatever that fire energy is. Focus on that as well. Okay, so I hope that makes sense to you. See, and Richard, I started a new job today. Congratulations, well done. A little nervous, wondering if I'll live up to my own expectations as well as mine. So let me just see what guidance comes in for Richard about his new job that he's just started. Okay, don't be too hard on yourself. Look at what comes in. The Ace of Cups. This is all about cherishing you, cherishing the gift that you've got, allowing yourself to be. All the music around it, it's like allow yourself to be in the moment and let your cup overflow. So it's like don't hold back. So I feel like saying, be yourself, be yourself. Don't be frightened of holding your emotions in. It's just like be yourself and love yourself, and be open to receiving, and just be open to, there's a lot of peace coming in. So it does feel like it is be yourself. So that's that self-love, cherishing yourself. And don't worry, I've got the Three of Pentacles coming in, which I feel is also saying, learn. I said, learn to work together. So sometimes it's difficult in a competitive world. So I don't know what job you're doing, but sometimes we have to work well with co-workers, and some people can be a bit guarded. But this is sort of saying that as a team, you'll work really well together. So, don't be frightened of sharing your ideas to your boss if they're new ideas. Just make sure that you're sharing and also listening and learning from their point of view. So it's the Three of Pentacles, but it's also that three ways of looking and listening. Be open to work in different ways. Be open to bringing your ideas on, and have that word collaboration. And if you want to know, I also feel, is if you're living up to your boss's expectation, ask as well, because I feel that with the collaboration, there's words. But what I have coming in is I get actually the Knight of Wands and the Eight of Pentacles. So I feel, keep going in, showing up, do your work, and you're going to excel. It's going to take a little bit perhaps of learning new things, or if not, it's sort of getting your head down and attention to detail. But, it is going to be good. That feels very positive. Okay, you understand the self-care thing. You're very hard on yourself. And Sherry Brown. Let me just have a look. Is there anyone in Instagram that wants a card? Okay, so where was I? Sherry, any tinctures? Yourself to help others. I don't understand your question. We all tend to be hardest on ourselves. I know, and it's awful. I often say to people, I wish you could see yourself as spirit sees you. We're just all energy. We really are, regardless of so many things that we complicate so much on earth, our possessions, colors, traditions, or where we're born, accents, and you think, God, we're just all energy. Let's just live life and be a lot easier on ourselves. Sorry, I'm just reading the messages coming. Making pictures. Okay, right, let me just see. Let me move these papers out of the way. Let me just see what comes in for you, Sherry. Just singing that, Sherry, Sherry, baby. I wish I could sing, but that song's just coming into my mind all the time now. Okay, darling. First of all, I've got the advice that comes into you, because I missed one of your questions, but really I think it was just sort of the way to move on. Sherry Brown, I'd love a message. Okay, well, the message is, I don't know whether that song means anything to you, but I definitely had someone singing in my ear. Right, the message I have coming in for you, my lovely, is I feel this self-love as well. So I know we've all spoken a lot about that, but it does seem something that's really apparent in our lives now. Again, it can be because with the harsh energies that have been around us with COVID. I also feel you've been coping with a lot, Sherry. You know, I feel that you've had to get on with things in life. So there's quite a lot of perhaps tears or hurt that haven't been cried. And so, you know, I feel like saying, you know, let yourself have some time. Maybe you want to heal others or do other things for other people and guide the way, but you've also got to bring in this beautiful love for yourself. This is the King of Cups. I feel he is also saying, you know, be open about communicating, if that would make sense to you. You know, don't hide your experiences, don't hide what you've been going through. I feel the blue coming in, it's definitely to talk and to speak to people, and that is because your question, so I'm just going to have to go back to it, and to help others the way to go. So I feel that's my brother doing the singing. Okay, yeah, it sounded funny. I don't think it's I don't know whether it was my singing that wasn't too good or his. Probably mine. And I've got goosebumps. So yeah, I do feel that he's definitely here for you, my lovely. But so I don't know whether that makes sense to you, but I just feel that your way forward, especially for helping people or guiding people, it is to communicate what you've been through. There's a lot of emotions that I think you've had to keep down because you've had to get on in life, and it may be now time to share your story, as that's going to somehow help others, if that makes sense to you, Sherry. But what I do have for you also is maybe the Emperor comes in now. He is about organization, so I don't know whether, you know, we've just done this thing all about being over perfection, so I don't know, you know, being too strict with ourselves, so that may not be so much. Normally the Emperor comes in to sort of say, let's get organized, you know, let's sort of throw things out that we no longer need, clear up our desk, our offices, our wardrobes, and our sometimes even our friends list. So I don't know whether that organization sits with you, but I also feel that this perhaps is about boundaries. So maybe you're too put on by others, or you don't have, you know, this saying, no, you're purging now. That's brilliant. That's so good. That is so good. And also, if you have been feeling indecisive about things, you know, I really feel like saying to you to open up and just let it flow, because I feel, you know, this is a time I feel that you've been planning for things, and there's perhaps fears and worries that actually block you. So this, I feel, is saying, you know, be open. Maybe that sounds a bit contradiction, because I've sort of said put boundaries on, but be open. So what I mean is, perhaps it's time purge, and that means purging people around that perhaps take too much from you right now. It doesn't mean they have to go for good. I know I have times that I have to sort of say, oh, I can't see them this week because I just need this time for me, and then the following week I'm fine. But so it may mean that you have some boundaries, so you sort yourself out, you have sort your communication out, and then you put these boundaries and the purging and, you know, the cleansing and cleaning, and then allow the wheel of fate, the wheel to turn. You know, I said in the beginning, I don't know whether you watched or saw it, where I was saying, you know, if you're too controlling or fearful, you sometimes sort of put the pen in the wheel so it won't turn, and all that does is create friction, and things are going to happen anyway, but you can make it harder. So this is sort of saying, maybe just let things, plan for things, you know, set your intentions, and you know, do the organization, but then just sort of let go and think, okay, the universe knows what I want. And as I've said that again, I've got goosebumps. So I think, yeah, you know, the universe has got your back. So just know that let the future begin, you know. Dun, dun, dun. That sounded dramatic. Anyway, it has been so lovely. I hope that oh yes, all correct. Well, I really hope that helped you. It's been lovely connecting with you, Sherry. You got lovely energy. It's been lovely connecting to you all. So I really hope that you'll join me. I might be on next week. Oh, that's lovely, Sherry. So I might be on next week. So look out for my posts. If you just do, I think you can be notified when I go live again. If not, I'm definitely on the 20th, which is a Monday, because we're going to do a full moon reading and what do you call it, ritual. And there are also worksheets that go with it. So we can do the ritual all together, and it would be a really powerful one. Oh, I'm glad. I've really enjoyed this, and I've got a lot of benefit from all the things you've said. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's lovely. Oh, I've really enjoyed it. Hi, Christabel. That's lovely. And Stephanie. Hi. Hi, there's a few. Oh, hi, Tarun. Hi. Oh, it's lovely to see you all. Anyway, I shall see you. As I say, I might come on next week. I haven't got my dates sorted because I'm waiting on a few things I've got to do. If not, I'm definitely on the 20th, but please just look out for me. Many blessings and thank you. Thank you.